Commence entry. Good morrow. I am Archimedean Paravian, resuming my duties of documentation, notation, and observation. The product of today's report will be one of our most recent and most potent successes. For clarification, I was not supposed to be the intended author of this entry, since the Archimedean who was supposed to deliver this report, unfortunately, no longer has the capacity to properly carry out her duties anymore, partly due to amnesia, and partly due to procedures she willingly underwent in order to save what remains of her fractured psyche. As such, I have volunteered to act in her stead. That said, allow me to begin. File number: Oscar Alpha TAC 048. Designation: Octavia. The Octavia Platform is of a unique configuration, even by a Warframe standards. Unlike most of its brethren, the Octavia Platform is built with the intent to provide in-action support to allied targets, rather than instigating combat itself. Attribute 1. Insight. In order to achieve this, the chassis of the Octavia Platform has been implanted with auditory manipulation devices, which are capable of producing and rearranging the rhythm, tone, dynamics, and frequencies of sonic wavelengths that the Octavia Platform can put together itself. These sonic frequencies in question appear to resonate with nearby targets of the Octavia Platform's choosing, causing all who hear these particular wavelengths to appear to be motivated, for lack of a better term. Interestingly, these wavelengths appear to have an effect on Warframes in particular, namely causing their internal piezoelectric transducers to respond by harvesting the pressure of these wavelengths, resulting in an acceleration of energy production. Perhaps there is indeed credibility in the power of music. However, due to the Octavia Platform's frail construction, it is not possible for the chassis itself to produce all of these wavelengths, as the created pressure would demolish the frame itself. I must consult Executor Barlas if this is intended or merely an oversight in terms of the Octavia Platform's inception. To counter this flaw, the Octavia Platform is capable of producing and hurling additional auditory manipulation devices, each of which produces one particular segment of the Octavia Platform's composed wavelengths. One of these devices has been specifically tailored with kinetic absorption in mind. The noise produced by this device in particular has a psychological effect on enemies, forcefully drawing their attention from other entities and onto itself, almost as if they're trying to shut off the music. This works to the device's advantage, which amasses the force of all projectiles absorbed from all enemies, only to then magnify and expel this very same force onto the very same enemies. The device can be upgraded with the Partition Supplement module, which converts the device into two miniaturized versions, each of which has the same effects, but with a smaller range. Testing has revealed that this module is most effective in settings where protection of multiple points or areas is required, since the versatility of area coverage of this module is intended to make up for the loss of effective range. This can be slightly relieved by installing modules that affect the reach of this device. Attribute 2. Allure. The Octavia Platform's secondary auditory manipulation device is also installed with psychologically altering capabilities. Although this secondary device also produces another segment of the Octavia Platform's composed wavelengths, this device is hard-coded to put itself within audible range of a living enemy. And if the Octavia Platform's primary device is detected, this device is also hard-coded to seek and attach itself to it. Doing so drastically increases the potency of both respective devices, so much so that our researchers are surprised that those within audible range aren't struck deaf. Hostile targets within the vicinity of this secondary device are tricked into following it, all the while being struck with small yet consistent bursts of rhythmic energy. Although automated, the Octavia Platform can gain some degree of manual control over her secondary device by installing the Conduct Supplement module, which grants the Octavia platform the ability to specifically dictate the desired location of the device, causing it to move at a faster than normal speed. Once the device arrives at the desired location, it remains there until further instruction is given, making the secondary device potentially useful as a point defense trick. Attribute 3. Pulse. The last component of the Octavia platform's composed wavelengths are produced from the mounted auditory manipulation devices on our chassis. This segment in particular generates an overtone around the Octavia platform, bolstering the defences, damage, or movement of nearby allied targets, depending on particular actions made at particular intervals. Odd as it may be, this segment seems to reward those who harmonise with the Octavia platform's wavelengths. One of these such rewards is the temporary application of an invisibility cloak to all allied targets who squat in rhythm to Octavia's overtone. This cloak in question is dubbed Nocturne, and it carries high value among operators, due to being one of the easiest and most reliable methods of giving protection, in the form of invisibility, that exists to allies. Attribute 4. Escalate. The last device under the Octavia platform is a special one. It consists of a generator upgraded with noise dosimeters. Once deployed, this generator scans the loudness of its surrounding environment and then generates a zone that overrides the damage capabilities of all Warframe platforms, going further beyond what would normally be thought possible. The Octavia platform, as well as all allied targets within the zone, can contribute by purposefully being loud, i.e. shooting, running, engaging in melee combat, or by simply having Octavia's auditory manipulation devices within the vicinity. The environmental adaptation of this device could be used as a stepping stone for revisiting the defence mechanisms of older Warframe platforms, such as the Chroma platform. I must deliberate further with Executor Ballas. Although the Octavia platform has demonstrated spectacular prowess in its ability to support allied efforts, its complete and utter effectiveness calls into question the design of older Warframe platforms with supportive capabilities, such as the Avara platform, the Oberon platform, and the Equinox platform. It is unknown if it is resource constraints that prevent the Octavia platform from being deployed en masse. This concludes my development report on the Octavia platform. Terminate entry.